And so, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Alex Collier. Good afternoon.
Hey, JP. Thank you for having me again. And God, that was an amazing introduction.
It's a beautiful day. How are you? How are you doing?
Day to day. Our situation is still very dire, and we are doing the very best we can. And, to everyone, I felt like I needed to walk away, and I still feel like I need to walk away in order to be able to find some serious work and support my family, but that's just not happening. The economy here in the United States is just horrible, and every week it seems like thousands and thousands and thousands of people are either losing their jobs or their hours are being cut from 40 hours full-time to 29, 28 hours, which is the new full-time, so that, companies don't have to pay Obamacare. It's a mess. It's been very difficult, but at the same time, I felt compelled to come on the show, JP, and share some, current stat with people about what's going on, because, things that we've been talking about the last several years are now beginning to come to pass, and I want to give people a perspective, because I don't want them to move into a fear space. It is my hope that they will be able to start putting some pieces together and see the picture, the pattern of what's being created, so that, they can stand in their strength and be able, when they're with evil, and just say, no, we don't want you here. You need to go. You need to leave. And, also, galactic events, space weather. These are things we need to talk about. And I know that there's bits and pieces of this information, and it's coming from many different sources. And, what I'm hoping to do is to kind of tie these things together, so that, everybody can have a somewhat clearer picture and not react in fear, but in, okay, I understand where this piece goes, what this is about. Okay, these are the probable things that are going to be coming. How do I prepare myself for this and my loved ones for this, and so on and so forth. So let's just go for it, and let's see what happens. And with your permission, please feel free to ask questions, and, just say, take a breath, Alex.
Talk about how you'd like to express yourself in the future.
How would I like to express myself in the future?
In terms of work that you do?
That's a really good question, and the best way to even contemplate that answer is to have a firm projection of what the future could be. And quite frankly, that's not decided yet. I see, we have here in the United States, our government, who claims to love America, clearly hates Americans. And they are preparing for a 24-year war against Americans. And I don't know what it is they think that they're protecting. There'll be nothing left. And I quite frankly am having a very difficult time with the mindset of the controllers, who absolutely choose to remain in control no matter what it takes, and are willing to destroy everything to make that happen. But then what have they gained at the end when they've destroyed everything in order to maintain their power? They really will have nothing left. Because, with these kind of folks, nothing's ever enough. It's just, they can't have enough. And eventually what happens is they end up consuming themselves. And that's a paradigm that just simply doesn't work. It doesn't work anywhere. I have lots of hopes and dreams, and it's been very difficult to maintain them when every time I try to do something, it gets blocked, I get suppressed, I get hassled, I get threatened, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's all part of the territory. And you sort of know about it, but until you start experiencing it, that really does in fact give you a different perspective. back last March, I gave information where I was told that the dark side, or the powers that be, were faking being really weak. Now, you have to understand the groups that are in control of the planet, which are the Orion group, some from Sirius B, many reptilian groups. They're in charge. They really don't have a liking for humanity. It is not that they love us, it's that they're protecting us, or whatever they do is because we're a resource to them, a natural resource to them. Okay? It's like your cattle.
Yeah.
But they're a resource. You protect it because you get something out of it. And that's the only reason.
That's right. I mean, I actually...
So that's the perspective people need to have when they think about this stuff. Now, having said that, let's go to the Vatican. There's a lot of information coming out about what's going on. We now see the Pope's resigning. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you, and they're talking about an alien savior. The question that isn't being asked by anybody is, why is the Vatican moving towards embracing, changing the gospel, bringing in, worshiping extraterrestrial saviors, people who are morally, spiritually, supposedly more evolved than us? Why are they moving towards that and abandoning Christ? I'm going to tell you why. Pure and simple, they sort of made most of it up. Okay? And that whole paradigm has run its course. They have made up the story and suppressed the truth, and they just can't run any further with it. So what they're hoping is that when this thing comes down, they can fool enough people that everyone will forget about that story and will adopt the new story, and it will give them more legs. Now, you have to understand that they have known about extraterrestrial life forever, okay, from the ancient scrolls, the ancient texts, many that they still have hidden in the catacombs. So, this is coming, okay? How that exactly plays out, I'm not exactly sure, but if you remember and you go back to the 90s, and the A's have said this all along, many other contactees have also shared this, the first group we meet are not friendlies. They have been here, and they are setting this whole thing up. They're setting up the book of Revelations because we all bought into it, and they're going to play it out for us because we've demanded it, because we bought into the story, and all of the major religions buy into this horseshit. Okay? So here it is. You got what you asked for, and I want to just say this straight away. Extraterrestrials, I don't care who they are, light, dark, benign, they are not gods. In no way, in any shape or form, are they gods. They may be technologically more advanced. They may be spiritually more advanced. That mean gods. It absolutely do not worship them. You can aspire to work on yourselves, to work on your own inner self, to make yourself that enlightened, to learn how to make technology, to build technology, which we've done on this planet, okay? But that doesn't mean you surrender and you become a servant or a slave to anyone else. Remember, you are soul, okay? Your DNA has third, fourth, and fifth density DNA in it. We are genetic royalty. That doesn't mean we're better than anybody. It just means we're different. You have to remember this, okay? You need to empower yourself with this knowledge. Okay, I have this. I have a soul that's, done the gambit, lived many lifetimes, and I can aspire to be that. But that doesn't mean you surrender, you take a mark. That doesn't mean you're owned by anyone, okay? You have to empower yourself with the knowledge that these events are coming, and the events are coming in order to compartmentalize us into a place of either or, all right? And as I said in 2010, we need to take our focus and turn it. We have to stop giving them our power and our attention and start building something we as humanity can live with. And we absolutely can do this. The only reason this paradigm still exists is because they've gotten us to buy into it. Okay? When we stop buying into it, it will crumble on itself because it's all crap. It's all a lie based on perception. And, you know, now is the time to take off the rose-colored glasses and truly see things for what they are. Okay? And there's a battle here. There's a huge battle going on. You have to see it. You clearly have to see it. You have to see it for what it is. Let's talk about information, and JP, I sent this to you of Professor McKinney talking about information he's getting from his astronomers down in Australia about the solar system, the mini solar system that's passing through the Kuiper Belt as we speak.
Yes.
Okay, we all know what that is, the dwarf star, and the planets trailing behind it. So, you know, I don't have an exact timeline. I'm hearing August, September, October. Again, I don't know, but understand when we talked about in previous talks, Earth changes. Okay, things are going to be sped up now. It's time to start getting the house, getting your spiritual center, really starting to think, okay, what's really important to me? What do I not need? And what's really important, not only for my survival, but for my family, my immediate family, and if you don't have family, your spiritual family. What's important? Where do I want to be? Where am I being drawn to? Because once this system is coming, okay, this is a cyclical thing. There's no running from it, and this is not a drill, is what I'm trying to say. This is not a drill, okay? It's time to get your house in order, everybody. And however that looks to you, you know, whatever you're guided to do, then, you know, you need to focus on it. Now, let's talk about that. Let's talk about a very plausible scenario. And I'm afraid that's how I have to preface this. It's a very plausible scenario. From the southern hemisphere, and as it comes around and as it ascends up over our sun, Mars is going to be between the dwarf star and our sun. Mars is going to get whacked. That's what it looks like. As it crosses over, we're going to have some experience, but I want you to know that ancient technology that has been sitting in the asteroid belt has been moved close to Earth to be used as a defense. No one knows exactly how effective that's going to be. And at this point, I don't know how effective that's going to be. And that's all I can say about it at the moment. But that's not the worst issue. That's not the main issue. The real issue is this dwarf star and this mini solar system are hauling ass. They are pretty quick. That's actually a good thing. The thing that we really need to concern ourselves is this thing is has a trail of debris that is forever. And we're going to be passing through it for many, many years. So things are going to be difficult, very challenging on the surface of the Earth. I've heard rumors that the northern hemisphere is going to get the worst of it. I don't necessarily know how accurate that is. It could be that certain sides of the planet are going to get it. I just don't know. But there's going to be a lot of debris, like what we're beginning to see now. And, you know, heads up. Absolutely heads up.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, yeah, and the coastlines are going, as we have these earth changes, most of the changes, geological changes, are going to occur in the ocean because the tectonic plates there are really, really tight. Many of them are crumbling in certain areas, specifically the Pacific Plate and the Australian Plate. They're watching that very carefully. That means that when they move, water's going to move. Heads up. You've been warned officially that this is going to occur. I don't know what that looks like. But Earth, all the planets, including our physiology, reacts to the sun. So, we have to pay attention to that. And as I get more information, I will, somehow pass it through, push it forward to you folks out there.